straight line graphs. In order to calculate the formula used within a straight line graph, we must reverse engineer the graph itself and transpose the formula in order to identify all of the sections used. As discussed, the formula used is y is equal to mx plus c. Therefore, to identify, we must ensure that we start with the gradient used within this graph. The gradient is the value m. As reference, the gradient is for every one movement of the x-axis, how much we either increase or decrease depending on the straight line graph itself. For every singular movement, so from 4 to 5, how much of a gradient has that increased on this specific graph? In order to do that, we must take the length of the 2 points, so an axis of 12 to the value of 10 and an axis of 4 to the value of 4 x-axes to the value of 4 on a y-axis. So therefore the overall movement on this graph has increased from 4 to 10, so the movement is 10 subtract 4 is 6, and the rate of increase is 6, and over a period of 12 subtract 4, therefore a movement of 8. Therefore the increase is calculated by 6 divided by 8. So a gradient of 6 over 8 means that for every one movement on the x-axis, the gradient is increased by a value of 0.75. So in order to simplify this, just rewrite now the formula. So now we have y is equal to m, which is the value of 0.75, multiplied by x plus c. Now we need to calculate the value of c. So in order to do that, we now need to transpose this formula to make c the subject. A simple format known as the flowchart method for transposition is probably a good technique. Therefore, all we're going to do is now, to make c the subject, we just identify exactly what is going on with c. And in such a small formula, it's quite easy. So therefore, c is now the subject. The first stage in c is the fact that we are adding it to 0.75x. So therefore, all we're going to do is now, in our flowchart, identify the addition of 0.75x. This sum equals y. So to transpose this now, what we're going to do then is move it down. So now what we need to do to y in the flowchart method is the reverse, or transposition. So above we added 0.75x, and now what we're going to do is subtract 0.75x will equal c. So now this will look like y minus 0.75x equals c. At the start of this, we now need to pick out our y value and our x value. So to get c, we are going to use the first straight line reference point of an x-axis of y is equal to 4 and x is equal to 4. So moving back over here, we're going to take our y-axis of 4, we're then going to subtract, so brackets again, because now we have our 0.75 multiplied by x, so 0.75 multiplied by our x-axis of 4, therefore C is equal to 1. We can now then build our formula. So therefore, again, starting off with y is equal to mx plus c. Now we have the value of m and the value of c. So therefore y is now equal to the gradient m of 0.75 multiplied by x plus c, which is now being calculated as a value of 1. So the answer to this question is y is equal to 0.75 multiplied by x plus 1. So just to prove this works, I'm now going to calculate, using this formula, the x-axis of 12, and we should have a result of y-axis of 10. So therefore 0.75 multiplied by our x-axis of 12 add 1.